Okay, I'm going to tell you about the different types of darkness. Now, I'm an intuitive healer, so I teach intuitive development courses and healing and all that kind of stuff. And you know, we deal with the shadow stuff, and we deal with entities, and we deal with, you know, dark things. And you know, sometimes I get people coming to me for, I don't know, reptile stuff or demons or, you know, cancer or whatever, you know, and we tend to categorize all those things as the darkness. But I'd like to kind of share with you, you know, a few ways that you can actually open up your intuition to actually see and notice that there are actually different frequencies of darkness. There are different layers of darkness which actually have a lot of beauty in them and a lot of amazing qualities in them. And I think it's really important to share this with you, especially if you're an intuitive healer, because what I've noticed my students do quite a lot is they go, when they do, like, you know, intuition opens up, they look at something, they go, oh my god, it's dark, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And actually, you know, there's more beauty in that darkness if you just stretch your intuition to understand the subtleties of it. So let me share it with you. So here are the 6 different types of darkness. Now, of course, we live in an infinite universe, so obviously there's many different types of things out there and different types of darkness, but we're just going to focus on 6, just so that, you know, you can start to train your awareness to kind of feel things a little bit more. I'm just going to give you the different, like, layers of darkness, these 6 ones, and in other videos I'm going to actually go into deeper way of actually how to heal it and how to transform it, but we're just going to stick to, like, opening up your awareness for this little video. So the first one is parasitical darkness. Now, parasitical darkness is when something else locks onto, perhaps, say, a person and takes their life force from them, okay? This type of darkness is unable to generate its light, but so it needs to find something else to actually get life force from in order to exist. So I find this parasitical darkness quite sticky in nature. So when I go in and feel someone's energy field, I feel it like this kind of sticky energy, and I also see it as they've got like little, I guess, tentacles or little kind of energy hooks into the person, which is actually drawing life force back into them. Now, of course, you know, you can teach the parasite to generate its own light. That's for another video. So that is parasitical darkness. It's a sticky one where you notice the life force being taken from one entity into another. Okay. The second type of darkness is hiding. When you go in and have a look at someone's energy fields, you'll feel with the hiding one, it feels kind of like a, almost like a blank kind of energy, like there's nothing here to see. But actually, when I notice that, when I feel like I go in and it kind of like gives me like a stop, like, because otherwise you kind of can just travel through things and travel through things and travel through things. So with this type of darkness, you kind of go in and it's dark and it puts a stop on you, and it's like there's nothing here to see. Now, of course, if something's blocking my energy from going in, I know that there's something there to see that I'm not supposed to see, or it doesn't want me to see. And so usually this type of darkness is when you go and have a look into it, it's got things like shame, maybe it's guilt, maybe there's a secret there that that person's been holding on to for a really long time. Maybe there's an experience that they feel really shameful about that they don't want anybody to know about. And so that is the kind of hiding darkness. And when I come into that, I just usually send love through it, because love's an amazing doorway to open up things. I send love through, and then I kind of embrace that darkness and then do what I need to do to resolve it and heal it. But hiding darkness needs a lot of love. So the third type of darkness is the kind of nothingness, I guess. You kind of go in and you feel it, and there's nothingness there. It's just this kind of void of energy, but this type of darkness feels quite exciting, like there's something to it, there's like potential, there's something there that you can create from it. So when I go into this type of darkness and I start to feel a little bit, I guess, excited, I know that there's something that I can create. I can create something, I can create from the nothingness in that void. So if I come into somebody's energy field and I feel this kind of creation, nothingness, darkness that's there, I'm like, okay, great, what does this person really want to kind of manifest in their life? What is their intention to make a shift to make change in their life. So I talk to them about that, and then I allow their intention, their manifestation to move into that darkness, and then I witness that darkness transforming and creating newness, nothingness, something from the nothingness. So that's a quite exciting darkness, and I literally feel excited every time I hit that type of darkness. The fourth type of darkness that I sometimes hit in people's energy fields, as I go in and all of a sudden I go vroom, into this like Zen consciousness, silence, magnitude, extending. It's kind of like an extending. It kind of really like widens your consciousness in order to understand it. Now this type of darkness is the deep silence in the universe. It's the plane where everything is, I guess, so harmonious and so perfect that it's a completed kind of energy, okay? Now, when you move into that type of darkness, what you will find is that you can get an amazing intuitive insight come to you. And it might be a really profound statement that you need to express to your client. So I really quite like these, I guess they're kind of like a void. You kind of go into it and all of a sudden your consciousness expands so that you can really, gather all the information, and then all of a sudden it kind of breathes out and then it breathes back in, and then you get given an amazing intuitive insight to give that person. So it's really kind of, this darkness is you're kind of like entering into the void, the Zen void, in order to get a profound awareness to help the client transcend with new consciousness. Okay, so number 5 is the disorder of darkness. What do I mean by this? Sometimes when I go into someone's energy field, there's quite a lot of chaotic energy going on there. There's like anger and drama and sadness and stress and all this kind of like a bulk of negative energy that's kind of like all weaved together to create like a chaotic disorder sensation. And it's quite a moving force when I feel this darkness. So yeah, it's got like a moving kind of energy to it, but it's quite chaotic in nature. It's quite a battle-y kind of feeling to it. So this is a really interesting one. What I do is obviously I need to untangle it, because you don't need to have the anger battling with your depression and your criticism battling with your guilt and all that stuff going on. So you kind of need to dismantle the different feelings that are there through a variety of techniques. So that one is, I refer to it as the disorder and the chaos of darkness. So the 6th type of darkness is, all your demons and your reptiles and your ghosts and your wayward spirits and your satanic attacks and, all those kind of freaky things that we get triggered by. And, don't forget, we've been taught to be really fearful of all of this energy due to religion, due to, conspiracy theories and, all of those things. Whenever, and I have come across many of these types of things here and there and everywhere because they exist, but I know that I keep one simple rule when I'm ever, working or coming into contact, is that everything is evolving towards love. It doesn't matter where it's come from or how dark and evil, everything is evolving towards love. And it might take them hundreds and millions of years to begin that journey, but everything is evolving towards love. And so I know that if I feel anything in anyone's energy field that relates to this, and remember some of this is just mental illusion that's been created, so it might not even be real, it's just their own mental drama that's created it, is that I go in with a lot of love, because I know that everything needs to evolve towards love. And for these things, if I know that they cross my path, then the rule is that I've set up with the universe is that they've come because they wanted to evolve towards love, otherwise they wouldn't cross my path. And so just applying that simple rule makes everything much easier to help shift and transform things along. So of course you can subscribe if you want to find more about how to heal and clear and transform darkness. And you can also get my beautiful Living Heaven ebook by going to my website.